There's another video on inheritance, but in this one I'm going to cover some extra details. So let's say we have a class called shape. Objects of kind shape or instances of shape will basically have a variable to hold the area, a method to report that area, which basically returns what's in the value area. It's also going to print area of a shape. And then there's a toString method that says just some shape. This toString, is usually to provide some detail on the shape, but because this is a generic shape, it'll just say just some shape. Now, if I want to create a rectangle, which is a shape, right, I would have to create a double variable area, a double method get area, a method toString, as well as other methods, right? So other methods such as set the different sides of the two sides of the rectangle, right? So there's some work that's repeated from shape if I want to create my rectangle class. However, I can tell Java that my new class rectangle is a kind of shape, and therefore gets all of these things that are already in shape, and then I just specified a little bit more. And this is what we do. For example, here's a rectangle class, public class rectangle, and I say extend shape. What I'm doing here is I'm saying a rectangle is a kind of shape. Okay, a rectangle is a shape, right? Therefore, all fields and methods of shape, which is called the superclass or the parent class, are inherited by rectangle, which is also called the subclass or the child class, right? So a rectangle has a double variable area. You just can't see it because it comes from shape, right? Also, a rectangle has a get area method that returns the area. A rectangle has that method, although you can't see it. This is the class. You can't see that method here, but it comes from shape. Now, there's something interesting, right? So I have also rectangle has a toString method, but this time I actually coded it here. What I am doing here is I am overriding the method in the subclass. Okay? To override a method in a subclass, you must have exactly the same signature, name, number, and order of parameters and return type, as the superclass method it is overriding. So this is public, it returns a string, it's called toString, okay? It's called toString and it has no parameters, exactly like the one in the superclass, in the superclass, the shape class. It's public, it has string, it's called toString and it has no parameters, right? So rectangles toString and shapes toString have the same signature. That's how I can actually override this. Now, also rectangle has an additional method. This one, public void set sides. This will actually you'll pass two sides, and they will be set. Remember, we have an additional two variables as well, side A and side B. So with the set side methods, you set both sides, and then this method also sets the area immediately. Okay. So now it sets the variable area, which again is not here, but it comes from shape. So what I am doing here is specifying a rectangle as a more specific, as a more detailed shape. Okay, so it has everything that a shape has, plus some detail and with some modifications, like the toString method. Okay, now let's use this. So we can go to test shapes, which is an empty class. Ignore the red here. I'm just going to get rid of this. Okay, so, and we will create a rectangle, right? So rectangle R equals new rectangle r.set sides, and we're going to set the sides 10 and 2.5, for example. And then I can say system.out.println r toString, and additionally I can have a shape s equals new shape, and I'll have s dot. I cannot do set sides, okay, because shape doesn't have a set sides method, okay. A rectangle does. So shape, I can say s dot area equals 10, and then I can just print it. System.out.println s dot I can s dot area. Okay, so we'll compile this and run it. And we see that we have the output window here, rectangle 10 by 2.5, that's the toString method, and then s, the area is 10. Now both have a getArea method, so I can do system.out.println r.getArea, and I can do system.out.println s.getArea, and we'll see how this changes a few things, right? So here we have it running. I've compiled it and run it. It says area of a shape 25. Okay, it's area of a shape 25. And then the other one says area of a shape 10. Now, it says area of a shape. That is what I had printed in shape. My shapes method getArea, the superclass for a rectangle, first says area of a shape, and then it returns the area. Right? My rectangle doesn't have that, but as you saw, when you call the getArea on a rectangle, here, let me put the test shapes here, and we'll see when I call the area of a rectangle here, r.getArea, it actually brings the one that was in shape, but the value of the variable area that it returns has changed because it was changed in the rectangle's setSides method. Let's look at it again. Rectangle setSides, you set one side, set another side, which are not in shape, but then you set the area variable, which comes from shape. Alright, that is why you have the printout from the shapes method, but the value coming from the rectangle. In the other case, we set the area of the shape, and then the area of the shape was 10, right? Because these are two different instances, these values don't get mixed up. These are two different instances because one is R and one is S, okay? And both have shape qualities, although R, with the rectangle, the subclass of shape, has more. It's more specific.